That was Biss, the pop group Biss, here on the BHC Fun channel. My name is Billy Hot Chocolate, and you are watching the Sweet Factory, doing our bi-weekly playlist. And when I say bi, I do mean bi. Here on YouTube.com. Uh, Good old Biss. Love those guys. The Scottish teenage group from the late 90s. Featuring good old Mandarin, who I had a huge crush on. There aren't a lot of lady rockers that I've had big crushes on, but Mandarin, I was like, where do I find that? Where do I get involved with something of that nature? Uh, which was nowhere. But that, I mean, that's good. I mean, in the sense that I think, I related, how many young ladies out there have felt the same way about, rockstar dreamboat gentlemen that just they weren't going to find, and I wasn't going to find a Mandarin. But, man, damn, girl. Lisa Loeb, Mandarin, it's all coming out tonight. Before that, that was the only thing I could think to play. So that song's called This Is Fake DIY, which I thought would be a funny song to play because it is the real video. It's not a homemade video. But I was like, oh, well, it's not exactly, it's somewhere between ironic and literal because for this show, it's a fake DIY video. Make sense? Does that make sense? Do it yourself. No? Look up DIY culture. I just found out recently, someone told me, a friend of mine tipped me off to the DIY channel, or someone referred to a show on the Old Lady channel, and I didn't know what the show was. And I'm not going to look up what it was now because I can't remember, but the show turned out the Old Lady channel that my friend was referring to was the DIY channel, which DIY now has a lot more to do with crafts and craftiness. And if you watch 30 Rock, you know that for women of a certain age, and I'm saying somewhere between 35 and 50, that knitting has kind of taken on a new meaning, and that's fine. Judgment free zone here, ladies and germs. But yeah, so naturally now, they have Make magazine and all. I don't know. I'm gonna act like I don't know as much as I know. But yeah, there's a DIY channel about crafting. I honestly I haven't seen it. I swear, I'm being legit here. And that's so one of my younger viewers referred to it um, as the old lady channel, as an old lady channel, and I was like, oh, that's hilarious because if they don't know, DIY to me is like, oh, like teenage punk rock stuff. Oh, like staple together your own magazine and call it a zine and interview your friends and like pretend like you make out with everyone. That part I just made up. That was just something I thought. So don't judge me for it. Before that, we heard a new wave group called Hasty Fantasy. I've just been introduced to them by a book I'm reading, the new Rob Sheffield book called "Talking to Girls" about Duran Duran. I think you could see it being up my alley. That song was called "Shine Shine," and yeah, I've never. Well, I was gonna say I've never heard anything like it, which is somewhat true. But I have heard Rock Lobster, so and I wasn't gonna toss the 7 minute Rock Lobster after it for you. So I was like, oh, I feel like this would fit in there. Before that, we heard a little ACDC, rocking things started. With It's a Long Way to the Top. And we got the set off with the National and Mr. November. But now I'm going to do a little viewer mail. Oh, there'll be a new segment. Do some viewer mail. And I haven't really gotten any viewer mail yet, so I thought I would write some mail to one of the viewers. Right? Why not change things up? So this is to my buddy Dave, who listens and watches the show from Houston, Texas. He was in New York till a few months ago, and yeah, we're old college friends, um, and we used to work at the same radio station. We used to do shows together back on good old KSCR. Actually, we interviewed Kimmy Dawson together. Dave interviewed her, and he was kind enough to invite me along. Kimmy Dawson, who started the show back when she was part of the Moldy Peaches. That was like all-time highlight of college. Top 27 experiences. I mean, which sounds like I'm brushing it off, but I had like thousands of great experiences back then. Anyway, so here we go. Dear Dave, isn't there something comforting about the fact that we were both 18 together, out in LA, living away from our moms for the first time? I feel like we were both sort of freaked out in our own way. And it's not like we became best friends, even though we were just there was only one door in between us. But there was still some comfort, partly drawn from knowing we liked the cool music that the other one liked. Oh, there's a guy on my floor who's into Pavement. Well, maybe I can get through this. Also, at some point, you showed me some video you had made in high school that involved clips of bowling. I really liked it, but I don't think I told you. You're one of the best guys I know. It makes me so happy that you're married to a wonderful woman. Your friend, Shelly. So here you go. There's some viewer mail. Maybe if I know that you watch the show, I will write viewer mail to you in a future segment. So anyway, here we go. Hey, good. Speaking of freshman year, here's a song that got me through it. Got my old roommate, Mark Carpenter. Yeah, he was a good freshman roommate. But my one pet peeve about him was that whenever he was in the room, he played music. And I mean, obviously, I love listening to music, but it was like if I could be there in silence, I could be, like it was like bam, and then he would just play his CDs on repeat. And so many things were ruined, like Violent Femmes and They Might Be Giants, and I don't know, a bunch of stuff. South Park posters, that's like a separate issue. But the one album that shone through, Beck's Mutations, I couldn't handle it. Played over and over. I couldn't deal with it. But yeah, there was one album that he played that I actually ended up liking more. And this is my favorite song. It's Weezer. It's on the Pinkerton album, which they're back on the road doing again. They just re-released it. Rivers has made his peace with the album. God bless you, jerk. And yeah, here's a little Weezer. My name is Billy Hot Chocolate, and you're watching the Sweet Factory here on the BHC Fun Channel.